As I've mentioned before, Captain Miller wanted to prove that he certainly wasn't an afraid man, and he certainly wasn't. The first time I drew the assignment to go up with a few enlisted men, I reported in, and they said, "Fine, we've got a group going out into no man's land. You and your medics can just go out with them." Okay. So you attend a little briefing, and they indicate that they're going out to see if they can make contact with the enemy, and that as we go out, be sure you step exactly where the man in front of you steps, because we have our area mined, and of course our leader knows where the mines are, so step carefully. Okay. And you better believe I stepped carefully. Well, our men were put at the tail end. Naturally, we were the tail end Charlies. We probably didn't even really belong out there. Fortunately, in front of me was a nice sergeant, and I was the last man in line. Well, we go out, and it's a very dark night, and pretty soon the company that we're with gets into a firefight with the enemy. Well, I don't know. I hope it was the enemy. I tell you, I wondered somewhat. All I know is there was a lot of shooting from the hill we were on towards the hill they were on. It went on for quite a while, and then it just kind of died down slowly, and ended. And the word was passed, we're going to lay low until the moon goes down, and then we're going back. Well, that time came. You don't realize how bright the moon is until the moon goes down, and boy, it's pretty dark by comparison. So we're on our way back, and you can't see a darn thing, so you keep your hand on the man in front of you. No problem. Well, no problem until we crossed a stream, and they crossed that stream so quietly that I didn't know we were coming to a stream, and when I hit the stream, I stumbled. A few things flash through your mind. You're the last guy. You don't have the slightest idea of where you are. Panic time. You can't say anything. Absolute silence has been ordered. So I step up out of there, and I'm reaching out, and oh boy, the sergeant says, turns his back, I touch him, and he knows where they are and catches up. But when I stumbled, I got disoriented. I didn't know where I was, where they were. No special event at all. Went back in, watched our step through the minefields. Always wondered, were we in a real firefight? Guess so, don't know. Well, the next time it was my turn to go up to the front with a group of enlisted men, not the same enlisted men. And we went up in a Jeep, parked in a company area up there near the front. You know, the medics are always back a little bit. And we didn't go out. We just kind of hung out. Look out there at no man's land. Finally, we took turns snoozing while part of them watched and stayed awake. Just to be morning. In the early morning, we're looking out there into no man's land. Hey, somebody's walking towards our lines from out of no man's land. Just a single person. Hey, I can see where he's going to come out. Come on, guys. So we jump in the Jeep. We go down where he's going to come out. And sure enough, picked the right place. He's walking right out of there towards us. And he obviously knows the rules He's got his hands behind his head and walking steadily and with confidence that we're not going to shoot. And good Lord, I look back in the Jeep and here's one of my guys that has a M1. He's got it up and he's so nervous he's shaking. And oh, good Lord, that man's quite probably just surrendering, but more, you know, there's also another more likely possibility. He may be one of our guys who's been over there spying, double agent or something, and coming back. My God, if this kid shoots him. So I said, hey, Corporal, let me have that gun and you go out and search him. Because, boy, the guy realized that fellow was thinking about shooting him. He stopped, standing stock still. So the kid gives me the rifle. I don't even hold it on him. Obviously, this man does not intend to do anything but enter peacefully, and if he's an enemy, surrender. So my corporal goes down, brings him on up, and he just gets him up there, and here comes a Jeep load of regular soldiers, madder than hell. What are you guys doing? Well, you want him, you got him. Turned him over to them. I'd almost bet that he was one of our men, or a man loyal to us, that had gone over and was just coming back. Well, the third time I was in no man's land was the night that Captain Miller had played John Wayne very successfully. Not only was he brave, he was something else. And that was the night that I went with a litter squad, not of our guys, and went out and was bringing back a 200-pound plus body of a Army sergeant that had been killed out there in a firefight. I think I've covered that somewhere else. War that, compared to what our kids are going through now, was as quiet almost as church. Although every day that I was on the front, a few people were killed. And I suppose that the months had gone, as the months went by, it added up to quite a few. But the enemy was over there on the higher ground and had the advantage. We weren't in an urban situation where you couldn't tell friend from foe and never know driving down the road if you're going to get killed by an explosive device. Yeah, war is hell.